guys, welcome back to Dual Tech. Today we are going to design a Biodata Windows application in C Sharp. So let's first of all look at what we are going to design for today's tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and open this picture. This is what we are going to design in C Sharp today. This is a biodata form. As you can see here, there's a name here, address, occupation, age, and the output. There's a button here you can click as OK button, here exit button. So to do so, and for us to design this, we need to do that in Microsoft Visual Studio. So let me go ahead and launch our IDE, which is our integrated development environment. So the IDE we are going to use today is Visual Studio. Now go ahead and open it. Please, before we start today's tutorial on how to design a Biodata Windows application in C Sharp, please, if you've not subscribed, please, you can do that. I'll give you a minute to subscribe. Thanks for that. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate. Let's dive into our today's lesson. So we are going to design a Biodata Windows application in C Sharp. So as you can see here, our IDE is ready now. So for us to do so, we are going to go straight to File, then click New, then Project. So as you can see here is Visual C Sharp, and we are going to create a Windows Form application today. This is what we are going to use to design this form, the form that I earlier displayed on the screen. So I'll go ahead and click Windows Forms application. Then after clicking this, you need to come down here. Here there's a name here. Then we need to change the name. So I'm going to change it to Biodata. Then the next one is the location. I would like to drop my home on desktop, or you can drop your own. You can create a folder and drop it inside the folder. Well, I will go ahead and drop it on desktop, or I will just keep it in this location as you can see here. So let's go ahead. If you want to choose your location, you can come here and click browse. But I'll go ahead and click OK. As you can see, Microsoft Visual Studio is creating our project for us. It will take some seconds. Let's just wait and see. Here, there's a form here for us to use to design our Biodata, or I'll call it a Windows application in C Sharp. So the form here is ready. So we're going to do all our designs here right in this form. So let me minimize once more again. Or before I minimize, let me just go down and resize this form. Push it down here. Let me take it up to this level. This level. And here is our form. And there's a name here, form 1. If you feel like changing this name, you can do that. You can come here and scroll down to this place, text. Where there's text here, you can backspace and include the name of the form. And I want the name of the form to be biodata. Here, as you can see, is biodata. So we can now go ahead and design our form. So we are going to use buttons in the design. We are still going to use labels and text boxes. Then we are still going to use a rich text box. So let me minimize first and go straight to that picture, what we are going to design today. As you can see here, the name side, there's a label here. All these are label 1, label 2, 3, 4, 5. All these are label. Then this OK button is a button. Then this exit button is a button. Here is a text box. 1, text box, 2, 3, 4. Then here is a rich text box. So we are going to provide that inside our form. All we need to do, we just have to click and drag and drop. So let's go ahead and design our form. So first thing, as you can see here, it is good to note that designing such an application is easy. There's no stress. Let's start with label 1. I'll just click and drag it and drop here. You can move it to any direction that you feel like putting it. So let me go ahead and start with label 1. I'll click label 1 here. Then I'll come at the properties bar here and change label 1 to name. Label 1 to name. Then I'll go straight to the form and click the form. As you can see here, there's a name here. Let's go ahead and resize it. Let's change the font size. Then click here. Let's use bold and let's use 12 as our font size, 12. Then click OK. Automatically it will increase the size. So I'll push this one close here. Then I'll go ahead and create label 2 by clicking and dragging. But without wasting much of our time, we'll just come here, click here. Then I'll copy it, Ctrl C to copy. Then I'll come down here, then right click and paste it. So automatically this becomes label 2. As you can see here at the properties bar here, you see label 2. So we've gotten label 2. And let's go ahead and paste label 3. We've gotten our label 3. Paste label 4. Gotten our label 4. Let's paste one again. Then label 5. Label 5. So let me try and align it. So the first one is name. Let me bring out the form so that you can be able to see very well. So we're going to see what we're about designing here. So the first side, the first label is name, and the second label will be after the name, it will be address. After address, occupation. So click the second label, then come here, click here around this text area here. You can change it to address. Then the next one, change the label 3 from address to occupation. Then the fourth label will change it to H. And this one will be the output. Label 5 will be the output. Let me go ahead and rename it as what? Output. Should be the output. Let me still come back once more again and resize my phone. So it's okay like this. Go ahead and increase it again. Let me align it a bit. Push this one closer. Take this one closer. And the next thing we are going to do here is to get a test brush where we can make our input. So go back here and click our toolbars. Then we need a text brush. So look down here and see if you can see anything like text brush. Here is a text box. You click, then drag and drop here. Let's go ahead and carry it closer, take it closer, drag it closer. You can increase the size of the text box. Let's come here and click it, then copy it. Copy this text box, then paste it here as text box 2. Then paste it at the bottom again as text box 3. If you look down here, the properties bar, you see text box 3. So we are going to drag it here and align it here. Then paste it down here, which is text box 4 as H. Then we're going to reduce it a bit, then align it. So the output, let's take it upward a bit. Take this from upward a bit, then upward a bit. Then the output, we are going to use a rich text box. Click to box, then let's look for rich text box. Click it, then let's drop it here. Then we can now move it to the left. Can move it to the left. Let's align it first as the output, then we can increase the size of the output. I want the output to be, let's align the output. We can keep the output here like this, or we can reduce it to this extent. So this is what we are creating for today. So I'll go down here and include the two buttons, button 1 and button 2. To include your button, come here and click toolbox, then add a button, then click and drop your button. This button 1. Then let's copy button 1 and paste it down to get button 2. Paste it down here, then drag it closer. Let's drop it here to get button 2. Let's go back and edit button 1. So we are going to change the text of button 1. We're going to change it to OK. The text of button 1 to OK. Then button 2, we are going to change it to exit. Under the properties bar here, then change it to exit. Then click the form, it will change. So we've gotten the design of the form now, but we still need to apply some code to see that this form functions very well. I mean very well. Because if I go ahead and launch this application, then start inputting and start doing my input, the application will not function very well because there's no code to make it function properly. So let me just go ahead and run this application and let's see. As you can see right here, you can see build start. So this is the application we've designed for today. So if I enter here and say, what is your name? And say, my name is Bill Gates, then my address. Let me just use Texas, then occupation, programmer, then age, let me say 50, then click OK. Nothing works because we've not done something, we've not included the code that will activate this OK button to function and this exit button to function. So let's close and go back to our design. Here is our design, as you can see right now. So all we need to do here is very easy. We need to go back from the label, then down to the button, then down to the text boxes and the rich text box, sorry. So what we're going to do here, let's go straight to label 1 and let's do something in label 1. So I'll click label 1 here, then I'll go down again. Let me see if I can adjust one or two things in label 1. So label 1, I will come down here and let me see the name of label 1. So as you can see, here is a name under the design and there's label 1 here. So under here, this label 1, we are going to change it to text. TST name, test name. Then let's go ahead and do that for label 2. We're going to change label 2 to TST address. Let's do that for label 3. We're going to change the name to TST occupation. occupation. And let's go ahead and do that for H. So we're going to change H, the label here. We're going to change the label here to test H. Then the output, we're going to change the label to text output too. So let's go ahead straight to our text box. Let's change this to the name back to text box. Text box. Yes, text box 1 to text box name. After changing it to text box name, so our first text box name, we are going to check for multi-line. Let's scroll down to look for multi-line. Want it to be more than one line, so let's check for multi-line. Past it. Multi-line. Click here, multi-line. Change it to true. Should be more than one line. Then we can adjust it up. And here we use the same thing. We're going to do the same thing, multi-line true. Then go up a bit. Let's look for the name. Then we change the name to testbox 2 to testbox and testbox address. Then I want this testbox to scroll vertically. Let me go ahead and add scroll to it. Scroll, cursor, scroll bar. Let it scroll vertically. Then let it scroll vertically. Let's anchor it to look for anchor. Let's look for anchor. Anchor. Let's anchor it top left right. Okay, anchor it top left right. Let's do that to same here to name. Let's anchor the name. Let's anchor it. Let's add top left right as the anchor. Let's go to testbox 3, and our testbox 3 we are going to anchor it left right to top left right, anchor it to top left right. Then let's change the name from testbus 3 to testbus occupation. Testbus occupation. Then let's go to the fourth testbus and let's change it to textbus. Textbus H. Sorry, we are going to eliminate the E from the testbus. Let me just go back and remove the E from the testbus. The E from the testbus. Still go back to address and remove the E from the testbus. Then let me go back to the name and remove the E from the testbus. Then after the H, let's see our anchor. Let's anchor our H2. So we are going to anchor it as the same with the others. Let's add top left right. Anchor it top left right. Then let's go ahead and rename our rich text burst. It will read rich text burst output. Then let's go ahead. Let me see which text burst output. Let's just leave this one. Let's go back to here. Click here, back, and let me check the properties, the font size. I would like to reduce the font size. Font, here is font. I'll come here and click here, then reduce the font size. I want it to be bold, but I still want it to be smaller. Let's use 9, then I'll click OK. Let me check this one to the font size too of this one. It's bold 12, no problem. Cancel here. Let me check the font size if it is up to 12 bold. Yes, up to 12 bold. So we're in order. I just want our input to be bold. So let's go ahead and click our OK button. OK button. Then in our OK button, we are going to change the name. Let's look for the name. The text will be OK, but the name of the button will change to be BTN OK. From button 1, change it to BTN OK. So let's go ahead and click the exit button and let's change the name to BTN exit. Then the text should be exit 2. The text, yes, the text is exit 2. So what we're going to do here, we're going to come back here to the OK button. Let's first of all deal with the exit button first. We're going to double click the exit button. As you can see here, private void btn exit underscore click. So we are going to add a code to make this application exit. So immediately as we click on the exit button, the application will exit. So you're going to type application application.exit, then open bracket, close bracket, then terminate with a semicolon. So our exit button is ready. Let's go back to the form and click the form. And let's go back and run our program to see if our exit button is working. So here's the program. Let's click the button and see. That's exited. So our exit button is working. What about our OK button? Our OK button, we are still going to add some code to our OK button, so that when we input our name, address, and occupation, the age, it's going to store everything and put it inside here, which is the output. It's going to display it as the output. So let's go ahead and double click OK button. Then we are going to include this code. String name is equals text brush. We are going to name the text brush name dot text, and string address is equals to the same thing, text brush txt brush address dot text, because we want text to be inside. We're going to name the other string, which is string occupation. Occupation is equals to txt brush occupation, then dot text. Then after the occupation is the age. We are not going to use it as string. We are going to state it as integer age. Age is equals to, we are going to use int 32. Then we are going to pass it, then in open bracket, close bracket, then you type txt brush age inside. Then add dot text to it, then terminate the semicolon at the end. Then after stating the int, we are going to make it a string now. So as the age string now is equals to the age dot to string, because we are going to convert it to string. Then add the open bracket, close bracket, then terminate with a semicolon. Then let's go ahead and include a string again, a string output. Then add a semicolon at the end of it. Then come here and put output here. Output is equals to, in double quotation, add name, semicolon, then give a space. Then add plus at the end of it. Then write name here. Then add plus again. Then a space, a forward slash, add another forward slash, then n, then a space. Then inside let the forward slash, let it be inside double quotation, a double quotation. Then add plus at the ending, plus address. Let's add our address. Then plus the address at the front here. Then plus, add your forward slash. Add your forward slash inside a double quotation. Inside a double quotation. A double quotation. Let's just give a space here and add another space here too. Then at the end of it, add your plus sign here. Then let's go ahead and state After address, it should be occupation. Should be all. Should be occupation. Add a space. Then plus the same occupation. Then occupation. Then after occupation, let's give the line space to. Let's add plus double quotation. Then a forward slash. Let's go ahead and include one space here. Then add plus to it at the front of it. Then remaining h. Then let's include our h. Let's say add double quotation and write h. Give a space to it. Then in front of h, add h here. A string. Then let's terminate with a word, with a semicolon. Sorry, let me go back and check. Here's the code for the output. The code for the output. Then click enter. Then let's target our rich text box output. Text is equals to output, because I want it to give the output of everything we are going to impute in that text box. So we terminate with a semicolon and let's save it. So here's the code for the OK button. Let's go back to our design. Again. Here is our design. So what we are going to do now, we are going to test this application to see if it will function properly. So I'll go back and run this application. Click start. So let's go ahead and include something. Your name. Say my name is August Jonathan. Then my address. Let me use my address as user state. Let me add my occupation. I'm a programmer and the coder. Then my age. I'll pick my age. Then let's test our OK button and see. Then let's click OK and see. Wow. As you can see, the name is here, the address is here, the occupation is here, and the age is here. Inside the output rich text box. As you can see here, we've just created an application that can take a biodata of an individual successfully. So we can click here to exit. As you can see, it has exited. So we can still come back and play this application, start it again. To run this application, we can click it to run it again. And let me just use my name again. Let's say my name is Bill Gates. Then my address is Texas, USA. Then occupation. Let me just use programmer. Then age. Let me say my age is 78. Then let's click OK. Name Bill Gates, address Texas, USA, occupation programmer, age 78. So let's click our exit button to exit the program. Wow. This is how you can use your Microsoft Visual Studio to create a Power Data form that an individual can fill in. their data and it will output it inside the same form. We've come to the end of our today's lesson on how to use Visual C Sharp and to use a Microsoft Visual Studio in creating a biodata form. So we are done with our project for today. Please, I would like to ask you that if you've not subscribed, you can go down and click the subscribe button and follow me up on YouTube. Thanks for watching. I appreciate. We'll meet in the next video. Bye.